Kyle, so Debby became a tropical storm yesterday, and you anticipate that it could become a hurricane before it actually makes landfall?
Yeah, good chance of becoming a hurricane at some point, the rest of the day today or tonight before it ends up making landfall kind of in that bend of Florida there. Now, the good news is, at least when it comes to a landfall, I mean, that stretch of coastline in Florida is probably like the most unpopulated stretch. It doesn't mean there aren't communities there, of course. I don't want to minimize that.
Right.
But it's not, the whole east coast
Right.
of Florida. It's not, the Panama City Beach area and things like that. So if a storm's going to make landfall in Florida, one of the better locations to do so, but the problem is it's going to be moving so slow after it makes landfall. There's going to be a tremendous amount of rain for portions of Florida, stretching up into Georgia and also into the Carolinas.
We're going to be talking about this for several days.
Yeah, this isn't, it's just kind of the beginning of this storm for a lot of places from Florida up through Georgia and the Carolinas as well. There it is spinning off the coast of Florida in the Gulf of Mexico, just off to the west of Tampa at the moment. You can easily see the center of circulation there. Tropical storm with wind speeds of 65 miles an hour. It's got to get well up over 70 before we're talking intensifying into a hurricane. But as I mentioned, that's likely going to happen sometime the rest of the day today and into tonight. Still tremendous amount of rain falling across portions of Florida already, and there's already been some storm surge along the Florida coastline, and we're also dealing with tropical tornado potential. Most of Florida underneath the tornado watch at the moment. Here's what the storm surge could be along the coastline from Tampa to Sarasota to Fort Myers, 2 to 5 feet, Cedar Key area 5 to 8 feet, maybe even 6 to 10 feet, kind of as you start to get up into that bend before you enter into the Florida Panhandle there, 4 to 6 feet as you head toward Apalachicola there in the Florida Panhandle. So that's what we're dealing with the storm, at least storm surge wise. There it is making landfall sometime during the day tomorrow. We'll say midday, maybe a little bit late morning hours as a hurricane. Wind speeds at 85 miles an hour. It will weaken, at least in terms of wind speed, pretty quickly after it makes landfall, but it's going to make just a slow jog through Georgia, maybe briefly entering back over to the Atlantic before kind of slowly moving up through South Carolina and eventually up into North Carolina. But because of that slow motion, tremendous amounts of rain are going to fall from Florida along the southeastern coast here through South Carolina up to North Carolina. The bullseye of rain from Charleston to Savannah, anywhere from 16 to 20 inches. And outside of that, we're talking a foot plus of rain. And then outside of that, it's 6 to 12 inches of rain. So a lot of rainfall, and definitely going to be dealing with some significant flooding in portions of Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and even up into North Carolina in the coming days. Not going to affect us in any way, shape, or form. Today was spot on normal. 97 the high, normal high 97. 77 the low, normal high 77. So if you thought today was terrible in terms of the heat, I kind of feel bad for you because it was just a very typical August day. It doesn't mean it's not hot outside, obviously, but it could be way, way worse this time of the year. And as I mentioned earlier, on this day tomorrow, last year, we hit 107. I don't have that in our future, but I do have temps climbing as we head through the upcoming week. Still 96 outside at the moment. Humidity hasn't been the worst today either, so that's why I say today really wasn't all that bad. It was normal. And then the humidity really wasn't too terrible. Grass and elm are moderate on the pollen count. For our weather, it has nothing to do with Debby. High pressure just kind of spin close enough to us that it just keeps the heat around, keeps the rain away. Pretty typical for August, and these headlines aren't too good. No major changes, triple digits in humidity with little to no rain. That's kind of depressing, but it is August and it is what we expect this time of year. Light winds and seasonable tonight, 77 for your low, and then tomorrow hot, dry with light winds. It's an ozone action day, 99 for your high. We go up to 102 Tuesday, 104 both Wednesday and Thursday. Anything hotter than 102 will be the hottest day of the year so far. So Tuesday we could tie the hottest day of the year so far and then exceed that Wednesday and Thursday. Could there be a pop-up shower storm somewhere Friday and Saturday? Not impossible, but I really wouldn't count on it. And as we head back to school next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I know some people are, depending on the day, you have a different first day back to school, but your forecast is kind of the same on all three of those days. It's just hot, it's just dry, with highs around 100 through at least the middle part of August.